Hello, this is Ariana Antonio for IAD 1501, and I'm going to be discussing my immersion element for my app this month. So it will involve what's coming down the river and how that affects the difficulty of the gameplay. So for example, that happens really quickly, obviously, since I'm not trying, but as you can see, there's a fish, there's a bear that kills you, and there's logs that come down and shove you backwards towards the bear if you run into them. So what my immersion element would be, which would affect how the user engages with the element, is the score is based on the logs as you pass them. As you avoid them, you get a point. And every time you get something that is a multiple of 5 points, the logs will speed up a little bit, and it'll be somewhat gradual so that you don't hit way too fast too soon, but that will increase the difficulty as you go, and I'll have to figure it out as I go, but I'm sure there'll be a point at which they top out where they don't go any faster, otherwise it would be impossible. And that will be the initial difficulty element that will challenge the user and hopefully cause them to increase their skill level and improve as they go. And then the other thing will actually make the game a little bit easier as they go, the other element, which will be I'll add another thing coming down the river every once in a while. Instead of a log, it'll be a food item. And this one you won't want to avoid, you'll want to actually eat. And I'll probably have a little thing up at the top or maybe on the side here that shows that you've collected these food items. And once you collect 5 of them, then it'll reset, and the next 5 logs that come down the river and pass you will not bump you backwards if you hit them. So it'll be like 5 free passes basically. And then the food items, will start coming down, so you can collect those again. So even as the logs move faster and the difficulty increases, you can still catch these food items and then hopefully have a sort of brief respite where you can just sort of focus on staying ahead of the bear for a little bit and not have to worry about avoiding the logs. So those will be my elements. In terms of difficulty of implementing, I don't imagine the logs will be difficult. Just every time this is a multiple of 5, I'll just increase the speed on those. That won't be really all that difficult. That won't be hard to implement at all, really. And then the other element with the food items, that won't be crazy difficult. It'll add a new level in terms of, I'll have to come up with the assets and have them dynamically being added to the screen as I go, and keeping track and resetting and just kind of moving stuff around and shifting it properly, as well as I might have to have a little logic in there to make sure that like a log and a food item don't spawn on top of each other or something, since that would be a little confusing for the user. Or maybe it would be another element of, oops, sorry, you can't get that element or that food item because it's on a log, so I'll have to figure that out. But neither of them should be really too terribly difficult to implement, provided something unexpected doesn't go wrong. And the order in which I'll implement them, I'm sure I'll do the log first, just because that's already built in there. I've already got the image asset. I'll just have to, do the little math to figure out what this is working on, and then also in order to increase the speed and sort of test it out a whole bunch to figure out what a reasonable speed increase is, one that's not too small or one that doesn't jack up the difficulty too quickly as well. And then I'll go ahead and create the assets and figure out the food item situation. And so that'll be the order. So that's it. I'm looking forward to getting going on this and adding to my game and making it a little bit more interesting. Thanks so much. Bye.